DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin joins me now. Mr. Secretary, thanks for being with us here today. Just hearing from the Speaker, time is running out, money is running out. When for DHS?
Well, we have used all the emergency funds we could reach into, Will. Because of the President's executive orders, we were able to reach into the One Big Beautiful Bill we refer to as OB3 funding. There was a certain amount of money that was set up for discretionary spending. All that is gone. We spend about roughly $1.7 billion every 2 weeks on payroll over our 260,000 employees that's protecting the homeland every single day. That's including the United States Coast Guard, all the way to ICE and DHS and intelligence agencies, cybersecurity agencies, and the list goes on. We have 22 agencies. And I am completely out of the slush fund. I have no place to move after the end of the month. And by the way, we're only covering payroll. We're not covering our expenses. For instance, the contractors working on our border wall, the gas that takes to run these boats out there for the United States Coast Guard that are taking down these drug boats. Department of War is literally having to help us fill those boats up. It's ridiculous. This is going on because why? The Democrats aren't being honest with the American people, Will. They don't want to have custom and border protection. They don't want ICE to be out there deporting illegals. Why don't they just go out there and tell people, hey, we're for open borders and we're for illegals running amok in our cities, and just go from there, because we need to protect the homeland, and no one's arguing that.
Yeah, I think they have said that, Mr. Secretary. I think actions speak louder than words, and the actions have made that message very clear. Unfortunately, that's a message that won't have a cost until an election, the nearest possibility being the midterms this coming fall, and your money runs out before that. And so what it sounds like you're describing to me, you're already borrowing from Peter to pay Paul when it comes to gas to run the boats and just to pay payroll, not fulfilling the contractors' contracts. And yet, in a couple of weeks, you can't even make payroll, right? So that means everything begins to shut down. We go back to the situation with TSA. We go back to ICE having nothing, nothing for DHS.
That's absolutely correct. And we've been shut down for 70 days. I mean, that's longer than any government agency in the U.S. history. And when I was talking to some of the colleagues yesterday, the Democrat colleagues, I was like, listen, guys, if you don't want to fund DHS, Department of Homeland, who's been around for 20 years after 9/11 to try to prevent something like that ever taking place again, then just dissolve us. You put our policies in place. You gripe about the work that ICE is doing, that our Customs and Border Protection Agency is doing. You wrote the policy, you wrote the laws, and you gave us our budget. If you don't want us to do our job, then don't name us the Department of Homeland. But at the same time, that's like taking away the Department of War, because the Department of War takes care of everything once we get into international waters. Department of Homeland takes care of everything once we get into U.S. waters and all across our land.
Mr. Secretary, as a quick follow-up, how compromised is your department? How compromised is your job, which you just stepped into? I mean, if you're doing this, borrowing of money and finding ways to stretch, are you right now? Are deportation operations at a compromised level from where they were before? Is the national security right now at a compromised level? And if the answer is no, Will, we're figuring out a way to get it done, well, what happens in 2 or 3 weeks here?
Well, deportation is still on track. We haven't slowed down or missed a beat because of OB3, the One Big Beautiful Bill that President Trump made sure we had funding in there for 3 to 4 years to get the illegals that flooded our country underneath the Biden administration out. That hasn't stopped. The compromise of Homeland, absolutely will, because our adversaries know we are shut down. They haven't stopped. But our men and women through all 22 agencies, they show up every single day and are doing their job, and a lot of them are doing them for free, and they're protecting the homeland because they believe in the mission, which is why I say I have the greatest job, period, in the government. Being able to run an agency that people are willing to work for free and do the job because they're protecting even Chuck Schumer's backyard, even though he says he has no respect for us. He's still trying to protect his backyard, protecting my backyard, your backyard, and every aspect of the homeland. And that makes you beam with pride.
Okay. And it does, you're exactly right. And it does make me worried. I mean, we can't see these deportations drop off within a month. We can't see the homeland compromised within a month. And by the way, we should point out, this is not just Democrats holding up this bill. It is, but also in the House, there are a lot of Republicans who don't want to sign on to these bills. And I know you've been on the Hill trying to shuttle back and forth and get some compromises in between Republicans to get a bill passed, but forgive us if we're a little pessimistic, Mr. Secretary.
Well, and here's the thing, and I'm not just going, I serve in the House, love my House colleagues, I love my Senate colleagues, but the Senate has done their job now. The Senate wanted, or the House wanted the Senate to move reconciliation first. They got reconciliation done. We're able to fund now the ICE and Customs and Border Protection for 3 years. They've also funded the other 20 agencies. Now the House has to come in and get their job done too, and I believe they will. They'll get it done next week.
All right. Secretary Mullen, good to see you. Thank you.
Thanks, Will.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.